Welcome, everybody, and we are fired up for another sensational college football matchup. Nobody at home today who can stake their claim in this neutral site showdown. Weeks of additional practice and prep for bowl games not only can set the tone for what we're going to see in this game, but for what might be in store next season as well. As we'll see the number 5 team in the country, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, taking on the 6th-ranked team in the land, the Oregon Ducks. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack, and Jesse Palmer with me. Guys, it's time to get it going. Kickoff team out there ready to tee it up in this bowl game. Fielded in the end zone, it's Whittington. I imagine he's going to get an earful on the sideline after bringing it out of the end zone and being knocked down at the 11. So the Oregon Ducks offense has the ball first today. And they're going to have to contend with a secondary that is one of the best in the nation, Jesse.
And they're a complete secondary, too. When you watch them on film, they're very good defending the pass and coverage, and they can play man and zone. But I like them, David, because they're not afraid to put their face in the fan. Everybody in the back end likes to tackle and likes to be physical. That's what makes them special.
Yeah, and it's just an elite group in the back end. Multiple guys that win their individual.
It's a seam wide open. And they were looking for a chunk play, and they got it. The explosive picks up more than 30. You go with the first snap of the game, and you make a big play like that, your confidence just soars.
And I don't know if the defense was sleepwalking here, Reese, but it's almost as if they didn't know the game had actually started. They were just kind of lethargic in the back end. I don't think they were anticipating this offense taking a shot on the first play.
Fires toward the end zone. Touchdown, Ducks! They won it all, and that is exactly what they got. Getting set for the extra point after putting the scoreboard to work for the first time. And the extra point is good, and it's 7-0.
One of the areas they really focused on with this receiver in the offseason was we need you to make more plays for us in the end zone. When we're taking shots, we need you to be able to step up and make tough catches. David, what a grab right there.
And I think a lot of that has to do with trusting your guy, knowing where he's going to be, knowing when he's going to sit down, when he's not. So being on the same page, and then having a guy that can go get it. Just when the ball is near him, he's going to make the play, just like he did right there for 6 points.
So Notre Dame's offense will have its first possession of the game. And we've got a superb matchup to watch here, David. One of the best quarterbacks in the country. And how much will he be willing to challenge one of the best corners in the land?
Well, and it's going to be more interesting to me, Jesse. Do they let him make it? Like, does he choose to go after him and believe in his ability and believe in his matchups? Or do they stay away from him? Because a lot of people stay away from him. He's that good out wide that you don't want that smoke. And I'm interested to see, Jesse, if he has the onions to go after the corner and try to make plays.
Pass rush, gets there, gets home, gets him down at the 23.
Play-action pass success has a lot to do with selling that fake. You could tell defense was not buying it, got in the backfield, got the big play.
They'll run the screen. Oh, he's got a chance. There he goes. He'll step out of bounds right at the 35-yard line, and maybe they've got something cooking.
What unbelievable toughness by the QB. Well, when you're running a screen, you got to sell deep pass down the field, back up, buy time. Palmer, you got to love the toughness of that guy.
Yeah, and I remember as a quarterback, I used to hate that play call for everything you just said.
That.
Because you know you've got to hold on to it to the last possible second for the play to be effective. Kudos to him, man. That is one tough dude.
They're in their own territory, but they are undeterred. 4th and inches, and they'll go for it. They stop him short of the marker, and they'll turn it over on down.
That's a great job there by the defense here early in this game, getting a huge stop, and they've got an opportunity to make the opponent pay. Offense taking over now in great field position. Let's see what they can do here from a play calling standpoint to try to put some points on the board.
Throws to the wideout. He's got it. And he's brought down after a nice gain. You always have to be aware of the running threat from the Oregon quarterbacks, but here getting business done through the air.
No doubt, Reese, because you're worried about his legs, the read game, all the stuff they can do. It opens up the passing attack. And I think when you've seen the Ducks teams throughout history, the ones that have enough balance to keep you off guard, keep you guessing, are the ones that are the best teams.
And the Ducks trying to pay off the threat on 1st and goal. Moore to the air. Let's it go to the end zone. Touchdown, Oregon! Fired in from the red zone for the score. I don't know exactly what the defensive coverage was, but it certainly wasn't part of the plan to leave him that wide open.
Well, I don't think they know what their defensive coverage was either. How do you leave that big guy open down here in the red zone? You know the quarterback loves the big tight ends in this area. Really poor job by the defense.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. That ball skips through the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 25-yard line. Here come the Irish back on offense. To say this has been a slow start is a bit of an understatement, and they really need to get it going here, Jesse.
That's right.
Oh, he's got some space. Turning it on. The 30. The 20. Touchdown, Fighting Irish. Once he got a step, it was all over, right to the house.
Offensive line, give me a crack, I'll do the rest. How about the Jets, the speed? He just turns it on, going 70-plus to the house. What a huge play by the running back.
That kind of drive will boost your confidence. One play, hit the big pass, put a touchdown on the board. And he's going to try to return this one. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. Already with 2 touchdowns on the board. Now they're back at it up 14-6. Moving, keeping the eyes downfield. Hit hard just as he released it on 1st down and just couldn't get it to the receiver.
Man, I don't know if you want that guy outside the pocket very often because he's so fast and he can do some damage, but they did a nice job containing him. Once he left the pocket, they...
It's a running room. Wide open spaces. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the play. Let's see if it stands. The officials throw the flag, but the offense won't need it. They'll decline that and keep the big play. As a defense, you hate to let them move the chains on a penalty, but that's what they did. It's 1st and 10. Quick completion on the out. And he goes out of bounds after a nice pickup on that one.
And I think this receiver's forte is his route running. He's a guy that can line up all over the field, but it's not just catching post routes and goes. This guy can run shallows, he can run slants, he can run the option routes and find soft spots in the defense. This guy really has all the routes in his toolbox.
Really good running, gets it into the red zone, and they'll have it at the 16. The Ducks are flying down the field. Now from inside the red zone. And the defense, got him at the 27.
This is a good sign for this defense. The rate they were going, not touching the quarterback, him already having 2 touchdown passes in the first half, this was not going to be a fun football game to watch. Now they're turning the tide a little bit, getting a little bit of pressure, getting a sack.
Works his way to the 4-yard line, and they'll have it 1st and goal. The Ducks didn't start this drive with great field position, but they have... He's trying to get it in. Touchdown, Ducks! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house. Backed up in the shadow of their own goalpost, no problem.
When you start in the black zone inside your own 20 coming out, it's difficult. You can give up a safety. You get worried about that. But the offense puts a great drive together. Great job executing. Great job getting a touchdown.
That one bounds through the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. Notre Dame has the ball and ready to get moving. Boy, they've been jumped all over, and they really need to put together a scoring drive here, down 21-6. Going deep. It's caught. And they'll move the chains and get it to the 47-yard line. Marcus Freeman added another chapter to the year 3 success stories of Notre Dame coaches, taking the Irish to the national championship game, and he looks like a cornerstone coach for the future.
It was so impressive what they were able to do, bouncing back from an early season loss against Northern Illinois when everybody counted them out. He's done an outstanding job recruiting. He's got a great coaching staff. This team is built and ready to make another run.
Yeah, he's got superstar written all over him. He has the next coach to break that ceiling and win it.
Turning on the Jets. He's loose. And they get him out of bounds after an explosive run, just chewing up yardage along the way.
This guy strikes fears into the hearts of every defensive coordinator, David, with that speed. If you give this guy any open grass, man, he's gone.
It's just silly. Look at the angles, people trying to catch him, but
and he rolls into the house. Touchdown, Irish!
Wow, this offense, they have a lot of faith in this running back, knowing if they get down into this area of the field, he can get it done and he can answer the bell. 2 rushing touchdowns already for this offense.
Now to make sure this kickoff team covers it well and not give back that last score. From a couple of yards deep, he'll bring it out. The coverage team maintains his discipline, not much doing on that return. And they'll get off one more play before the end of the quarter. On the run, it's Hughes. And he'll pick up a few yards before he's dragged down, and that'll be the end of the first quarter. Time has expired here in the quarter, and Oregon has the lead. And after that first quarter, let's see if these guys can get back in the game in the second. They flipped into the field, and we're ready to play. Had a chance to talk it over during the break, and they'll start with second down. He wants to change this route. Wide receiver comes in motion. Moore will throw. Looking deep. Brings it in down the left side. Running free. And he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, Oregon! This guy's putting the Oregon offense on his shoulders, carrying them however you want, on the ground or through the air.
I mean, so fun to watch when you got a guy that can do this. And we've seen it with the Ducks in history, man. They've had some great ones that put their team on their shoulders. If you need me to run it, I'll run it. You need me to throw it, I can do that too.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Here come the Irish, back on offense. They'll put this one in play, first snap of the drive from the 25. The last time they had it, they took it down the field for a touchdown. They can build some confidence that they could go back-to-back scoring drives here.
Yeah, and remember, it's not uncommon for offenses to find themselves as the game goes on. They had some things not go their way early, but they found something last drive, David. Let's see if they can build on it.
Yeah, you just pick and pick and pick until you find that place where you're like, okay, this is an advantage I have. They've clearly found that dude. They score here, we're in for a ball game.
Notre Dame facing a 3rd and long, trying to keep this drive alive. The running back has it. How about this confidence in the running game, and he picks up 9, just short of the marker. It'll be 4th and 1.
We love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
And how about this lower intestinal fortitude? 4th and 1 in your own territory, and they're going. Trying to get it to the mark. Will not get there. A 4th down stop.
Aggressive. You want to be aggressive. You want to take chances, and you tell your team about it all week, and you come out, you get an opportunity in the first half to go for it on 4th down. You shot your shot. The problem is now you put your defense in a bad situation early in this game where you're going to have to try to find a way to get a stop and create some momentum.
Well, the defense didn't have a lot of time to celebrate that last big play because here's the offense right away back at the line of scrimmage, ready to roll again with tempo.
Bought a little time, lets it go. But it's incomplete, and this sophomore quarterback usually makes that throw every time.
My old coach always used to say, don't turn a bad play into a catastrophe. He got flushed outside the pocket. Listen, it's okay. You can throw an incompletion. Don't create it.
Just too much of a rush, and down goes the quarterback just behind the midfield stripe at the 49. And the Ducks will punt this one away. First punt of the day, and he'd love to lock them up close to their goal line. Punt will bounce out of bounds, and they're going to spot it at the 25. Notre Dame has the ball and ready to get moving. We'll see if that failed fourth down in their own end last time, David, sort of curbed some of the aggressiveness.
When you hear about it all the time in football, go for it. Be aggressive. The problem is when you get stopped, sometimes it puts you in a hole. And, Jesse, now the offense has to come out and respond.
They were real disappointed not getting that first down. You can see it on the sideline. So let's just see if that's kind of galvanized them a little bit here to go make a statement and get some points.
And it's frustrating as a defense when you give up that first down and you give up that pass play. But here we go with this offense. They're right back on the ball. You got to flush that. You got to get lined up, and you got to communicate.
Under fire. Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and it never had a chance. Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on second down.
Man, it's easy to play defense when you can do this. When you can get to the quarterback quick and make him make a decision quick, it makes it easier for the secondary, for the linebackers, for everybody on the field.
Throws for the tight end. And that's going to fall to the ground incomplete. That was a physical matchup there. Third down coming. Now this offense tries to figure out a way to move the chains after the second down misfire. And despite going 0 for 2 on fourth down so far, they will stay aggressive and go for it here. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Looking to scramble. Bought a little time, lets it go. Finds his big tight end. They knock him down, but he's got enough to get it across the line and pick up the first down.
That tells you a lot about their confidence in this quarterback. Fourth down early in the game on your own end, and you go for it, but when you make decisions and throws like that, it's easy to see why.
And this one will be stopped for no gain. Notre Dame lines up quickly. They'll go to the ground. Look out, he's got room. This freshman makes the stop after a short gain. Whistle blows, we are at the 2-minute timeout, and man, oh man, could these guys use a score to cut into this lead. This will be the 7th play of the drive, and they need to convert 3rd and 6. Back to throw, it's Carr. Gonna take a shot. It's a big stride inside the 10. Defense is there to make the stop, but he's got the first down, and they'll have it 1st and goal at the 6. They ripped off a huge chunk, and now a little chunk is needed to pay it off. They'll run it on 1st and goal. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Notre Dame!
One thing you know about this team is they've got a lot of fight in them, and that's a great job responding by the offense on that last drive, capping it off with a really good-looking touchdown run. This is now a one-possession game. We've got a lot of football left to play.
And the big fellas are on the field as they try to power it in for 2. Looks as if they didn't get it off in time. It'll be a delay of game.
Delay of game. Offense.
So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. How about this? These guys are going for two. He wants to throw it. Catch in the middle, it's Fields. He is denied short of the end zone as the two-point try fails, and this will remain a 9-point lead. The ball bounces through the end zone, and it will be a touchback. And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. They missed an opportunity to extend this lead the last time they had it, Jesse.
Yeah, they got to be able to regain that momentum, right? Go back to what was working earlier on in this one. And, David, to me, that starts with being the more physical team.
No, I definitely agree. Being the more physical team, but understanding the situation of the game. You're still winning. You got the football back. Now put a nice drive together and execute.
Pulls it in. It's Hughes. Oh, out of space. Excellent job working through the air there, finding a hole in that defense and picking up a first down.
This quarterback obviously did a lot of film prep coming into this one. He has been picking this defense apart. With that last completion, guys, he's now got over 300 yards passing.
One back in the backfield, and they'll give it to him. Not a whole lot of progress made there on the short run. The Ducks racing to the line in the hurry-up. Moore to the air. He'll grab the throw to the sideline and step out of bounds after picking up a few. They've got a third down and manageable from right around midfield. From the gun, wants to pass. Fires to the middle. Pulls it in. Defense needs to regroup as he gets it down to the 26. The Ducks will snap it on 1st and 10. Give to the back. And the defense makes the stop after a minimal gain. Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on 2nd down. Wants to throw. He's working against the clock. And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete.
Yeah, and this defense hadn't had a lot of success. This offense has been doing what it wants at will. Finally getting to the QB, finally getting some pressure, finally getting a big hit on him. That'll pay some dividends down the road.
He's not going to make it. What a job by this defense to stop him in his tracks. And here comes the field goal unit. And this will be a 41-yarder coming up from the right side. And he barely got enough of that one to somehow tuck it into the left corner just over the crossbar. And that lead grows even bigger.
Man, so many more times we're going to say, go for it, be aggressive. Nice to have a guy you can depend on, and you know you're putting 3 on the board. Nice kick, nice job.
Here come the Irish, back on offense. This late in the half, you're behind. You'd love to create something before the break to build momentum, Jesse.
But you've also had some miscues on offense, a big part of why you're losing the game right now. I'd take it into halftime, make my adjustments, and come out ready in the second half.
Yeah, I'm going to take it into halftime too, Paul. But I'm trying to put some points up right here. Be aggressive, set the tone, be like, hey, listen, this is what you're going to get in the second half, so find something really quick that you can go to.
Looking for a crease. It's locked. They needed that extra space as he bangs his way to the 14. There's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half. Notre Dame comes to the line trying to convert on 3rd and short. They'll run play action. He tosses one high and deep down the left side. And the ball is caught. He's inside the 35. Touchdown, Fighting Irish. He got loose and it was lights out after that.
Well, the head coach has to love what he saw from his offense here at the very end of the first half when you got to have it. Execution has got to be great in these 2-minute type situations. Really nice job handling the situation by the quarterback, making sure all 10 other guys on offense are on the same page. And they're still losing the football game, but that's a touchdown they absolutely needed to have here at the end of the first half.
And the jumbo formation is on the field as they line up for the 2 points. No, power it inside with the fullback. He's into the end zone, and they'll put 2 more on the board just before halftime. So here comes the kickoff after the touchdown, and the last thing you need right before the half is to give up a big return. He'll start the return inside his 5. And the returner runs out of real estate as he goes down. And holding on to a first-half lead, this offense will play it safe, take a knee, and head to the locker room. No tricks here. Looks as if they'll just run it out and take that lead into halftime. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update.
Guys, 2 quarters down, and I've got to say, this has been a fun watch so far in Memphis. And this has just been a passing clinic, really, by both offenses. They've effectively stretched these defenses, forcing the secondaries to cover every blade of grass, and they've still racked up big plays. Man or zone, pick your poison, or lay some blame at the feet of those pass rushers who can't do anything against the maulers on that offensive line. And with that, let's send it back to the fellas at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium.
The Ducks will line up to kick off and start the second half. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. Notre Dame has the ball and ready to get moving. And they're trailing on the scoreboard right now, but they are very much in the mix to finish this season with a bowl win.
Yeah, and I think you look at bowl games, sometimes there's a little bit of rust in the first half. That's what you talk about at halftime. Now, we get the ball, we're down. Let's go make a statement to start this second half. We're here, we're ready, we're going to do some damage.
And here's the thing. They're in this bowl game because they're explosive on offense. It takes only one play. There's still lots of football left to be played. If they get this confidence going, they get into a rhythm, watch out.
After picking up a couple, it's 2nd and 8. Looking to throw, it's Carr. Pocket breaking down. And the pressure was too much. They get him at the 15.
All right, this quarterback is going to have to start playing with a clock going off in his head. He knows he cannot hold on to the football too long, but players like that getting after him.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, you'll need to push it downfield. Intercepted, and that's not how you want to start a half. Touchdown, Ducks! What momentum you get when the defense comes up with a play like that.
The #1 job in defending a quarterback is making him feel uncomfortable, physically hitting him. Nice job by the defense with the pressure, the hit on the quarterback, forces the INT, and then Oski. As soon as you catch that thing, everybody start blocking, get to the near sideline, take that thing back to the house.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. He'll bring it out. It's Pauly. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. Here come the Irish, back on offense. First play of this drive comes from the 14-yard line. They'll leave it with him. He breaks a tackle. That's a nice pickup to give them some breathing room, and they've got it out to the 27. He is threatening to run his way into the Irish annals like Julius Jones did against Pitt and Navy, or maybe rolling like the bus, Jerome Bettis or Vegas Ferguson.
Just having a day. Give it to him. Good things happening. Listen, this offense, they're physical up front. They're creating holes, and the running back is doing the rest. This is Clinic Take 101 on how to be physical.
Lost one on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. Trying play action. And the pass rush is effective, and they tackle him at the 19.
Oftentimes with play action, you're asking the quarterback to hold on to the ball a bit longer, and you're asking this offensive line to hold up and pass pro a bit longer. Against this athletic front seven on defense, it's going to be tough.
Every defense in the country talks about getting offenses in predictable 3rd and long situations where I can bring on more speedsters, and I know the pass is coming.
It's a fake. He's going to throw it. Looking down the middle. Oh, and it's picked off. Going the other way, and he's got room. And a big return after the INT sets up the offense for this possession.
Man, this is how we do it. Defensively, you go into halftime, you make adjustments. You talk about, we've seen them do this, we've seen them do that. Let's get ready for it. Let's have a plan.
Intercepted. They were back in their own end, and they stopped the drive. The 50. Inside the 30. He's at the 10. Touchdown, Aaron! What a play! Not only the interception, but the great return for the score. What about the speed from that defender on the return?
He's showing you, Reese, like, listen, it's not just wide receivers that can do that. I can take this thing to the house. I got some moves. Watch this.
And the defense comes up with a sack, but I think that penalty flag is going to wipe it out. It's going to be a 1st down for the offense. Defense in the neutral zone. And with that kickoff going out of bounds, they will get great field position to start.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
So the kick goes out of bounds, and the ball will be placed at the 40 to start this drive. Moore will throw. Well, the quarterback can make a big play when he starts moving around. And they won't make the connection, looking to make a big play there. Working well behind the sticks on 2nd down.
I love that play call by the offensive coordinator. Your quarterback just threw a pick 6. You want to pick him right back up, right? So don't handcuff him. On the very first play of the next drive, let him throw the football to try to reestablish a rhythm and reestablish some confidence. Obviously, that one falls incomplete, but they need to get this guy back into a rhythm. The only way you do that is by throwing the ball.
Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face 3rd down. Catch in the middle. It's Hughes. That'll be enough for a 1st down as he crosses the 50 and gets it to the 48. The Ducks come to the line with a new set of downs. Quarterback making adjustments. Coming out on 1st down with the play fake. Grabbed over the middle. It's Moore. They've got it inside the 30. They'll mark it at the 28. It's 1st down. Oregon was dominant last season until the Ducks ran into that Ohio State juggernaut in the Rose Bowl, and that left Oregon still in search of its long-awaited first national title.
Well, Dan Lanning has built this thing into a national championship contender. He's done it in the trenches, but I'm curious to see what they do at quarterback and how that position plays out. Dylan Gabriel exhausted his 17th year of eligibility finally last year, David, so that's where my eyes are at.
He did, no doubt about it. He was around for a long time, but I think it's more the excitement with Lanning and continuing to bring in high recruiting classes, but breaking through and getting that first national title. They're on the precipice. Is this the year?
The Ducks in the hurry-up. He's looking to throw on 3rd and short. Got his man on the right. That'll be enough for the 1st down, and now they've got it at the 15-yard line. And the Ducks looking to take advantage of this red zone trip. Give to the running back. He stopped at the 14-yard line, and they'll stay on the attack from there. Operating in the red zone here on 2nd down. Moore to the air. Grabbed in the middle. It's Johnson. That completion will take them inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Tight quarters deep in the red zone, but they can't pick up a 1st down without scoring. 3rd down. Still on his feet. Can't quite cross the plane to get the 6, but they'll have the 1st down. brought down at the line of scrimmage, and the ball will stay at the 2. And the D deny them on 2nd and goal. Caught behind the line. It's Hughes. And that one did not work. As they get set to snap it, just about to reach the end of the quarter. Might be changing the route. On 3rd and goal, they'll try to throw it in. And he was looking to the end zone, and they couldn't make the connection.
You have to understand, at home, it's really hard for a head coach to kick a field goal at this juncture. After such a long drive, so many first downs. You've gotten right down to the doorstep. 4th down, you want to be able to pay this thing off and punctuate this drive with a touchdown.
And this will fall incomplete, and they'll turn it over on downs. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Just enough time for one more snap before the end of the quarter. Leaves it with the back. Hard running there. Got enough for the first, and he's still going. They finally get him stopped, and this veteran junior running back comes up with a nice play. That's the end of the period, and Oregon has the lead. They're sitting in a strong position here with the lead. Let's take a look at our game summary. Here comes the 4th. Time to see who steps up, who makes the winning plays to take home that W. They go back to work with the first down in the final period of this one. Use the play fake, now to throw. And the defense makes a play, sacking him back at the 10.
This defense, they are tenacious, and they've got guys up front that are athletic and that are so strong and can collapse the pocket. You saw it right there in that play action attempt.
Notre Dame has made this 2nd down play much more difficult after going backwards. He wants to take the top off. Pulls it in on the left. Off and running. Past the 10. Touchdown, Notre Dame! And with that, they move out front here in the 4th.
I think one of the most underrated things we talk about with a QB is timing. Being able to get the ball out of his hands to his receiver where he can continue to catch the football and run with it. Nice pitch, nice catch, nice play in the 4th quarter when you needed it for this team to take the lead.
Up by 1, they're going to try to get the deuce here and make it a field goal lead. Back to pass, it's Carr. And he snatches it and comes down in the end zone for the 2.
And I think you hear about this chart all the time, when to go for 2, when not to go for 2. Smart decision. 2nd half, being up by 1 doesn't help you. Getting that 2-point conversion, that's a big deal. Now this offense up by a field goal.
Let's see if he can make a play on the return. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. This certainly hasn't been their best day, but there's no time for mistakes now. They have to execute if they want to snatch this thing from the fire. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
They're trying to throw the screen out to the receiver. The defense, though, having none of that. They are just too physical. They're too fast, and they force a negative play.
They'll go to work in the air on 2nd down. And the sack all the way back at the 5.
Defensively, you got them backed up. There's 2 options that they're going to do. They're going to run the football, be conservative, or they're going to try to take shots down the field. They tried to take a shot. Defense was ready. Nice pass rush. Ready to get to the QB and get after that sucker.
On 3rd and long, hoping to throw beyond the sticks. It'll be incomplete. Tried to extend the play, but just couldn't find anybody open. The Ducks decide to punt it away.
It's so nice when you know it's 3rd and long, you know a pass is coming, you worked on it all week, get your feet set at the sticks, understand that quarterback's got to be rushed, get him off of his spot. Nice execution by this defense.
Notre Dame has the ball and ready to get moving. They reeled off a long touchdown drive the last time they had it. Much better field position this time around. Offense working from the pistol. Off the play fake on first down to throw. Strong pass rush gets to the quarterback, and they get him at the 46.
When it's a play-action pass, that quarterback, he really has to sell the fake. He can't tell his offensive lineman's getting beat right away while he's selling the fake. He had no shot.
Notre Dame has made this second down play much more difficult after going backwards. He's in open space downfield. There he goes. Rolls inside the 30 and out of bounds at the 29, and now they're threatening. Inside the 30 at the 29, it's a first down. They'll run the ball. The clock is on their side. Brought down after a good pickup, and they're in the red zone at the 20.
Well, this offense thinks that they have enough left in the tank here to run the football and run all the time off the clock. They got the lead late. Didn't get the first down on that last one, but it's not going to surprise anybody if they turn around and hand it off again here.
And he won't quite get there, but boy, after that pickup, just a few inches to go for the first. An array of possibilities here. The Irish needing just inches for the first down. On third and short, they'll go to the power running game. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense.
But when you've had the day that this guy's had so far, why not hand it off to him on third down, right? At this point, you're almost basically expecting him to find a way to pick it up, and he does exactly that. This guy has been a monster all game.
He's dragged down at the 12 as they try to cash in on this red zone opportunity. It'll be second down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. They'll try the run. Knocked down in the backfield, and boy, this guy's had a good day, but they finally get to him on that run. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. The Irish facing quite a challenge here on third and a mile. Back to throw, it's Carr. Unloads it left. And a missed opportunity on third down as the defense knocks it free, and fourth down is coming up.
And the offense got themselves in a tough situation. Third and long, so hard to execute, especially when the field starts to shrink. But the good news is they got a field goal in their back pocket.
They'll keep the offense on the field on fourth down already with a one-possession lead. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. It's incomplete, and they'll turn it over on downs.
And the offense stays aggressive. They try to throw the football and just weren't on the same page. It was an incompletion. He could have done a better job, I think, throwing the ball to his receiver and maybe making it where it's more of a 50-50 ball where he can make a play. Defense gets the big stop.
Moves away as he feels pressure. They get to him as he throws. And the defense forced that incompletion with the deflection. Clock stops. We have reached the 2-minute timeout, and the offense is looking for a play to close this deal out. So now it's second and long. Might be calling a hot route. Quarterback adapted.
I just love the effort by the defense on this play. We're late in the game. It's in the fourth quarter. Guys are tired. They're not able to get to the QB right away, but they continue pursuing him, and they're able to get to him outside of the pocket. Nice job.
Got to be careful here. Backed up this deep on third down. Got his man. He almost picked up the first down on that one, but he'll be just a little bit short.
And they've trusted their QB to throw the football. And he's going to have to make plays. He's made plays throughout the day. This is now when you come up clutch in a big moment when your team needs it. If that's any indication, I like what I'm seeing.
On fourth down, looking for the completion. Big man has it. It's a first down and more. And he was off to the races. Finally tipped up at the 36.
What a big play in the fourth quarter when you're trailing and you really needed to get a first down here. Nice job by the quarterback, making the pass, getting the first down.
And the Ducks come to the line with a fresh set of downs. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. Moore will throw. Finds his man. It's Garcia. And the defense had that one well covered, just a short gain there.
And I think the defense doing a really good job of understanding this is late in the game. It matters. Taking away the sidelines, taking away the middle of the field, making him kind of check the football down, go through his progressions, and make that clock tick.
They finally get him stopped, and this veteran junior running back comes up with a nice play.
Well, obviously the offense went 3 and out on their last drive. They're having a little bit more success here. That was a nice run, and I think that's the key, guys. If they're able to run the football, they're going to be able to stay on the field. And I think that's something you want to think more about if you're the play caller on offense.
Everybody has to be set. They have to get it off. They'll hurry to the line here to try to get off that third down play. From the gun, wants to pass. Here he goes breaking the pocket. Couldn't find anybody open, just threw it away, and that's a smart move. You want to avoid the turnover, especially in the red zone. It'll be fourth down. And this field goal attempt might be their chance to save themselves. It is perfect. And in the waning seconds of the game, they tie it up.
Wow, and with that field goal with so little time left here in the game, it looks like this thing's going to OT. You have to give that young guy so much credit. He had the weight of the world on his shoulders, and he's able to knock it through. We've still got some football left here, fellas.
He'll take a knee. It's a touchback save every second he can as they try to put together this final drive. Starts from their own 25-yard line. An unforced error there. They don't get the snap off in time.
Delay of game. Offense.
The delay of game pushes the offense back. From the gun, to give, looking for room. Now after that run, they're in pretty good shape at the 30-yard line. Timeout is called with just 2 seconds left to go. And now on second down for this offense. Off the play fake. Caught over the middle. It's Price. Ripping off a pretty good chunk of yardage. They got it out to the 41 with a first down. 4 quarters, not enough to settle this one. We're headed to overtime.
And these teams have played so well, back and forth, evenly contested game. How about a little free football, Jesse?
Yeah, I love this, David. Free football and finding out which of these two teams is the most mature. Who can settle down now with the game on the line and make the big play.
All right, guys, so here we go in overtime, and just to refresh everyone's memory, alternating possession starting on the opponent's 25.
And you want to play defense first because you want to know what you need. That's a key philosophical approach for most teams when it comes to overtime, David.
Yeah, and remember the rule change a couple years ago, too, and the second overtime and two-point conversion. So all this stuff is situational type football that you better have worked on throughout these weeks of the season.
They'll snap it from the 25 here on first down. The give to the back. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple.
Well, good call by the defense there. They dialed up blitz into that running play, and the linebacker able to make the stop.
Notre Dame has made this second down play much more difficult after going backwards. To the air, it's Carr. Unloads to the right. He's got it! Huge game before he goes out of bounds, and now they've got it first and goal.
You can tell this quarterback did his homework coming into this game. He has been dissecting this defense with his arm and his mind. Over 300 yards passing.
With the run on first and goal. Touchdown, Fighting Irish. They strike first in overtime. Precision blocking up front created the open lane, and the running back followed it beautifully.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to follow an offensive line that makes those holes. It just gives you a caravan all the way to the end zone. What an unbelievable job blocking up front.
Now on first down, they need to answer with a touchdown. From the gun, they'll try the middle. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Back to pass. Flushed out of the pocket. That's caught. It's Garcia. Corralled and brought down by the defense.
Well, one thing you got to say about this guy is he's very, very poised. He knew he had that defender bearing down on him. He got hit right as he threw it. Still, though, it didn't affect his accuracy. Nice job getting that completion.
They'll try to get it through the air. Makes the grab on the left. Picks up enough to give them first and 10 from the 11.
Nice job by the running back catching the football and understanding where the first down marker was. I got to go get that first down. Did a nice job of it.
The Ducks have it with a 1st and 10. Quarterback adjusting the pattern. Moore to the air. Makes the catch. Touchdown, Oregon. They got it in, and now an extra point away from the tie. He has been surgical. Precision passes. Using the scalpel, the fine instrument, rather than the blunt one.
And the defense has had absolutely no answer for it. Just, he's been down their throats all game long, a step ahead, understanding what he's seeing, and just destroying this defense.
Now first down here in the second overtime. They'll move the tight end. Wants to throw on first down off the play fake. He's got the tight end. He goes out of bounds right at the 15-yard line. These routes have some reads and adaptability built in, and the big fella found that cushion and made the play.
Man, it's so awesome how much offenses have evolved. They know exactly what they're getting, where to sit down, quarterback, tight end, on the same page, gets the first down.
They'll run it in the red zone. It's Hughes. Brought down, but not before he bowled his way inside the 10 to the 8.
And you see him consistently sticking with the run, staying balanced. As you get closer to the goal line, you're thinking the field starts to shrink now. You'll have a jump ball wide receiver out wide I can throw the football to. How am I going to find that extra space and take care of the football while doing it?
They go to the ground. Touchdown, Ducks! That score gives them the lead here in the second overtime. One-step wrap, two-step squeeze. See what you hit what you see, bring your feet. Yeah, none of that happened.
Yeah, those are all great things to keep in mind, but you're also trying to tackle another grown man against his will and get him on the ground. And by the way, he wasn't having it.
They got the touchdown. Now in the second overtime, you have to go for 2. Moore will throw. They got it. Executed beautifully, and the lead is 8 in double OT. They know what's in front of them. They have to answer that score with a touchdown. Gonna run it. It's Price. Finds some fresh air. Picks up the first down. They'll finally get him stopped at the 1-yard line. What a run there.
Well, it took everything on defense to just get that guy down on the 1-yard line. He is a monster, Dave.
And if this offense, Jazz, is going to keep doing that, you better bring in reinforcements on that defensive line.
Touchdown, Irish! With that, now a 2-point conversion away from triple overtime.
Man, what a great response by this offense, going down the field, scoring the touchdown. Now, I've got to go for 2. I know the new overtime rules, they changed this years ago. Jesse, you should work on this in practice. What's your go-to 2-point play right here?
I'll tell you, after running the ball as well as they did on that last touchdown, I could see them doing it again. I think they've got confidence in the big fellas up front to get it done, find a way into the end zone, and be more physical.
So here we go, dueling 2-point conversions from this point forward. Wide receiver going in motion. Trying to pound it in. They got it done with the 2, and now they hold the edge deep in overtime. This will be the ball game. Make it and play on, miss it and lose. Moore to the air. They can't convert. A great stop by the defense and a game-winning one here in overtime. My pulse rate is still through the roof on this game. I would have called that one for free. Wait, I don't want to get carried away there, but it was a really fun game and a great win.
It really was. I know we're all up here, we're bouncing around, we're excited after having seen what we just saw. What a great win for this team to go out and do it in overtime. That's the type of game that fans are going to be talking about for a long time, Dave.
Great. Yeah, right. If you know Reese Davis, that is not happening. But we got a free game that was awesome. Back and forth, nip and tuck. And bonus time. You got some free overtime play in that one.
That's going to do it for us here, and for these two teams, that's going to do it for a season. Another bowl game in the books, and a season is wrapped. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, and our entire crew behind the scenes, I'm Reese Davis signing off, and we'll see you next season for another presentation of EA Sports College Football.